Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight, good stuff that we're going to go over tonight. The focus for this evening is, drum roll, please. We're going to be talking about government contracting success, marketing tools, and strategies that you can use to obtain the government contracting success. So get your notebooks, get your computers up, get ready, because we are going to talk about the marketing tools and strategies for government contracting success. So I am going to put into the chats what we're going to be talking about, the websites that we'll be visiting tonight. Hi, Nana, how are you? Thank you for supporting. I appreciate you listening in to our live tonight. So as you can see, what I typed obviously was too long, so it broke it up into different portions. But you can see, again, we'll be visiting Sam.gov. We'll be visiting the GSA website to go over pricing strategies. And we'll also be talking about opportunities for you to get one-on-one sessions and to join the government contracting mastermind. So let's get into it. So first things first, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope that you're doing well, that you are being prosperous in your business. This is the season, right, of preparation and strategy. So the big thing for government contracting is you want to strategize, right? So you can win those contracts. So having a great strategy, having good marketing strategies is so important to government contracting success. So first things first, when you are trying to win government contracts, you have to make sure that you're doing the research, make sure that you're staying in tune, and make sure that you're looking for the sources sought, the pre-solicitations, and the RFPs. Now, we've already previously discussed about how to look at the procurement forecast so you can understand and know what procurement opportunities are out there, right? So you go to acquisition.gov, you look at the procurement forecast, and essentially you can look for any government agency that's out there. If the government agency is missing, you can always contact their procurement officials and just ask them, do they have a procurement forecast list? You can sign up at each of the government agencies. They're all listed on the procurement forecast list at acquisition.gov. You can sign up for small business opportunities or their mailing list, or you can search and see if they have any procurement events, small business events for outreach to you. And what I would say is show up. So don't just show up federally, show up to your local, your state, and federal procurement events. So locally, it could be your city, it could be your county, right? So to give an example, let's say my city is Laurel, Maryland, and the county would be Prince George's County, or it could be Howard County, or it could be Anne Arundel, for procurement opportunities. So I would go specifically to those websites and say Laurel City procurement, Anne Arundel County procurement, Prince George's County procurement, and look for any indications to sign up for their mailing list, look for their procurement officials, make sure I'm signed up for their procurement portals, and also, again, to see if they have any upcoming events, right? And the big thing is show up, right? show up, make those connections, build those relationships with the procurement officials and also other people that are seeking contract opportunities. So you got that, right? Strategy, basically show up, show up, show up. Make sure you're familiar with all the procurement sites and portals around you. That's at the local, state, and federal levels. Make sure you sign up for those procurement portals at the local level. Um, for example, for Maryland, you would sign up for the Maryland procurement portal, which is called Emma, but also, again, go deep into the city and the county just to make sure, right? If they have any procurement portals available, most times the procurement opportunities will filter up into the Maryland portal, but you want to be in tune. You want to show up to the events. You want all the knowledge. You want those relationships at all of those levels so that you can maximize your opportunities to win contracts. So, next thing in this whole strategy session is Sam.gov. So you would go to Sam.gov and I will share my screen. So first things first is the Sam.gov. And you're going to set up a strategy, right? You should be looking for the opportunities, contract opportunities. So with the contract opportunities, you just go to search and you see contract opportunities. And then under notice type, you want to search for, let's search for sources sought first. And let's see how many are out there. So right now there's 3,879. Now you could go through all of this, right? You can download the search and you can sort, right, through 3,879 sources sought. Or you can say, you know what? Let me let me break this down. So you already have sources sought. Of course, you want the active. And then let's go to dates, right? So let's say response date offers due, let's say within the next month to give you time, right? So possibly if you were strategizing for the next 3 months, you can say the next 3 months, you could say the next year. If you want to do quick turnarounds, you could say the next 2 days, 3 days, or next week. But we're going to say the next month. Let's see how many are there. So that breaks it down to 1,142 opportunities. So then you can just go through. And again, you can filter this down even more if you wanted to 7 days or whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. I say a month out to allow yourself enough time to be able to go through the list and apply, right? Because you want to make sure that you meet the timeline. So then you can just look and see the different contract opportunities that are seeking sources. Let's see. And I say, don't just narrow it down to just the services that you provide. Look at everything, because what if there's a contract opportunity that has your services, but it wasn't very clear, but you understand exactly what that RFP is about or sources sought is about, and you can provide the services. So you just want to look at everything. And again, it is for this 1,142. Let's say if we took it down and say, you know what, I'm feeling ambitious. So anything that's looking for a response within the next week, that still it narrows it down to 700 results in the 30 days or the week. And you can see like there's sources sought from Ramstein, from various locations. One question I get, can you submit for sources sought from different locations? Yes, of course. Now you have to look at the requirements, right? Is the requirement for the person to be boots on ground, or is it an opportunity where anyone from throughout the United States or even throughout the world, because you see some of these are overseas, can apply as long as you can provide that specific service? Because remember, you have virtual services and opportunities. So you see, like this one, the enterprise program support services. So let's just look at one of the sources sought. And this one is Department of Commerce. So again, when you're looking at the procurement opportunities, when you go to acquisition.gov and you're looking at the procurement forecast list, you can search for the Department of Commerce and kind of see what their budget is, right? What they're projecting, and also detailed information about the contact person. And also, it'll, of course, be in here under the sources sought. You can look and see what data is published, and there's a response by May 15th. It's administrative management and general management services. The place of performance is Ruston, Virginia. You can see any changes that they've made with this. Please note questions will not be answered, but will be considered in future drafts of performance requirements, meaning you can send a question, but they may not respond to you directly, right? They're telling you. So don't go sending them 3,000 emails asking them to respond, because they're telling you that they're not going to respond to questions, but they will consider for future drafts of the performance requirements. Respondents who wish to reply to this RFI should send responses via email no later than May 15th. They have the POC listed, the email address. You can see all of the documentation for the requirements. Keep it short, sweet, simple. But if you were into, or if you provide this specific service, definitely look into it and apply. Why not? So let's go into the documents. Now, the solicitations, I would recommend, of course, you download all attachments and links. So that way you get everything in one full scoop and you don't have to think about it, right? You get everything and you can look at it to see if you're eligible. So I'm going to open it up. For the document. Okay, so I am going to share this with you quickly. Okay. So this document basically says the RFI announcement is for First Responder Network Authority. They anticipate issuing a fair opportunity for solicitation in 2024. They have a range of 55 to $60 million for this subsequent contract. Now, this is what they're looking for. So basically, they're looking for, and this is where you keep it simple and follow the directions. Do not give more or less than what they're asking for. Sources for this one. So they're asking for your cage number, your your data universal numbering system, your DUNS number, your unique entity identification number, your NAICS code, your social economic status, are you a US company, your telephone number, email address. So if I was responding to this, you see their numbers are a little off. So understand it says 1 and 1. It should be 1, 2, 3, etc. Right? I would send the letter with your on your company letterhead and just go through all the questions. Provide your name, organization, all those details. It's asking you to identify any existing government wide contract vehicles that your organization currently holds, your capability statement, your recommendations on contract vehicle type. So again, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to write this. So that's your opportunity to provide. What type of contract vehicle type should they propose? Would your organization subcontract on any of this work? So if maybe you can't be a prime, but you're willing to offer to subcontract, you can provide the information. If the government were to proceed with a solicitation, what targeted evaluation factors should the government consider? So look at this. You're essentially shaping how they're going to put the RFP together. You see what this is right here? This is the sources sought, and they're asking for your help. Any concerns, suggestions, or general feedback? And then based on the draft performance requirements, what labor categories would you recommend? This is your time to provide input. Just answer the questions. Don't do extra, just answer the questions as they lay them out. And then also they provide any technical questions. So you would respond to the technical questions, the draft performance requirements for this contract. They tell you specifically, and I'm going to emphasize this, responses shall be submitted electronically using Microsoft Word, Excel, or Adobe formats, 11-point font. Respondents are advised that FirstNet may be unable to receive any other types of electronic files. So don't send them zip files or other files. They're telling you exactly Microsoft Word, Excel, Adobe. Files of more than 30 megabytes cannot be accepted. Responses are limited to 15 pages, so don't you go doing extra and give them 16. They said 15 pages to include the graphics, not including the cover page. So you can have a cover page and then no more than 15 pages. Provide that response. So all you do is email that response to the POC by May 15th, and you are done. You see how simple that is? And that is for sources sought. So basically, you're shaping the contract. So when that RFP comes, you won't be surprised because you're part of the solution. But this is one of the first parts. And then I would continue this strategy. So you see the sources sought. You also would look for the pre-solicitations, just look and see what's out there, and also the RFPs, but make that part of your, let's say, weekly strategy. If it's, you could do it every day if you have time, but at a minimum, your weekly strategy to go through Sam.gov, look up sources sought, look up the RFPs, and look up the pre-solicitation. So today I'm just going to go into the sources sought for Sam.gov purposes, but you see, very simple, just respond back, then you become part of the pipeline, you become part of the answer, you're helping to shape the RFPs. That's part of the strategy, right? As you roll out and try to enter into government contracting, and you see they're also asking you if you would be willing to be a sub for the opportunities. So it's opportunities for you to connect with other contractors. Okay. So next up, so we got Sam.gov. So keep it simple. Any questions you have on that, you definitely can ask them. But very simple. Make sure you look at Sam.gov, sources sought, pre solicitation, RFPs weekly. Make that a part of your strategy as you see things that maybe you want to apply for or solicit for. Definitely put them in your spreadsheet. So have like an Excel spreadsheet or your CRM, whatever you use, Monday.com, whatever platform that you use. You can put that into your platform and then sort it, right, by dates. Like this is due May 15th, this is due May 20th. So that way you're organized, whether you have a VA, executive assistant, or you do it yourself. You have a strategy and you're organized to be able to not only look for those contract opportunities, but you also set your goals, right, and timeline to apply for those contract opportunities. Now, we're talking about pricing, right? Oh my gosh, how do I price, right? How do I figure out how to price my contracts? So you can do simple Google. If they're asking you for how much a person is like as a business analyst, you can look for the market rate. So Google market rate for a business analyst in Laurel, Maryland, or wherever you're located. So you can kind of see what's the average salary, right? And with that salary, make sure you look at the high end, the low end, and the middle. You want to go someplace in the middle, right? If you're trying to price the different salaries for that RFP, once you get to the RFP process, you see the last particular contract, they're going up to $60 million. So not that money isn't a thing, but you also can kind of look to see what their budget is when you look at the procurement forecast list, because it lists out basically how much the government is projected to spend on that particular procurement opportunity. So you can see if you're within the budget or maybe you're going to bust the budget. Don't undersell yourself, because when you're thinking about setting up your price, you want to think about not just the cost, right? So let's say that budget analyst and the average salary is 150,000 per year, right? So then you would break that down, of course, into per month, per hour. So that way you know the hourly rate for that budget analyst. Then you want to think about, okay, well, what's your overhead cost? Do you have to pay for insurance, sick leave, annual leave? Do you have to pay for like administrative costs? Like maybe you're paying for office space, or maybe for like your payment processor. So you have to factor in all of those different administrative costs, right? So you don't want to undersell yourself where you're saying, okay, the price point is 150, you're paying the person 150, and then you're coming out of cost for all those other items. You want to factor all of that into your actual proposal. So you see if you undersell and say, okay, I'm only going to charge the government $60 per hour, and you know the market rate for that business analyst is 160 per hour. Now you're underselling that person. Why would that person want to apply and lowball themselves, right? But you're also putting yourself at risk because you're under that price point, and you know that you have other administrative costs. So you have to just think about that and factor that in. Also, we can go to GSA. So I put that website into the chat for you as well. So GSA, you can look at their schedule library, and their schedule library actually lists the different prices, price points, and budget, right, for different contracts. So let's see. Okay, so I'll share my screen so you can see an example. Okay, so I pulled up an example, and again, I gave you the link so you can get here as well. Um, let's say Department of Veterans Affairs, this is a contract for professional and allied healthcare staffing services. So you can see kind of how it's laid out. That's kind of blurry. Okay, you can see how it's laid out. You can see the different titles, right, within this contract. But more importantly, I want you to see rates. Now, again, you can always look at your competitors, look at contracts that are already out there, but you also can just Google, right, the average market rate for a physician in specific specialties in whatever area you are, just to see what the rate is to make sure you're not underselling, because you don't know, right? This person could be high or they could be low, but you want to make sure that you do your homework. And another good site could be the Library of Congress. So you can go to Library of Congress, so loc.gov. You can do scroll all the way down to Ask a Librarian, and you can ask a librarian, what is the average rate of a dentist, a general dentist in the Maryland area, and they'll provide you the information and data, so that way you have from an official source, right? The librarian from Library of Congress. So loc.gov can also help you if you're trying to do analysis and research. So I'm giving you different sources. You can go to gsaadvantage.gov and look at the contract schedule and look at the different contracts and look at the different categories and pricing. You can Google the different positions to say what's the average rate of XYZ, or what's the average rate of business analysts, or what's the average rate of occupational therapists in your specific area. So you can look at the average salaries. There's multiple ways. Plus, you can go to usaspending.gov and you can look at different contracts that are out there as well. But tonight, I'm just going to show you the GSA Advantage. And again, if you have additional questions, I can always answer you one-on-one or answer you in the chat. So with this, again, you can see all the different rates, right, that they're charging the government. So if you were doing a similar contract, you have the rates right here so you can make sure that you're matching up. So you see like medical records clerk, $32.24 an hour. The counselors, all the different positions, a nurse practitioner, you can see what their cost is to the government. And then you can see all the additional details. And this can help you, right, with your contract writing, where you're saying, well, how do I put together a proposal? You can, all the information is out there so you can look at different proposals, look at different contracts to help you to shape your own contract. And of course, you will personalize it to that RFP, to what your organization provides. So this is just a short, we will be going more in detail with this within the mastermind, because we are going to go step by step and I'm going to help you personalize it to your own categories and to contracts that are specific to you. Next week, I start there on this. So tonight we are keeping it short and sweet and to the point. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then. I don't know. So last but not least, what I'll share with you or present to you is the opportunities, right? So again, I just wanted to give you an overview. The one thing, as far as marketing, right, you want to make sure that you have your capability statement and that you're prepared, that you have your website as well. So let me present. So right now we have our GovCon Success Mastermind. So I'll be going very much so in detail and depth in our training, in our course to help you just navigate and simplify government contracting within our mastermind. You can register right here at graceconsultinggroup.com/mastermind. It is a 6-month GovCon Mastermind course, comprehensive program that's going to take you step by step. We'll go through government contracting, pursuing opportunities, responding to opportunities, advanced strategies, and you also have one-on-one sessions with me once a week. So this is a great opportunity, great price point, right, for your budget to help you get through government contracting. Of course, you can always do it by yourself, but some of the feedback that I've gotten from participants is just they get the expert guidance, the accountability, the one on one sessions, and also the exclusive access to all these resources and templates that I'm sharing with you. So if you want that one on one, if you want that group accountability, sign up for the GovCon Success Mastermind. It is very affordable. It's just an opportunity for you to learn and grow in your business and government contracting. Last but not least, if you want to get with me for one-on-one session, you also can book one-on-one sessions. So I'll be providing all the links, all the information for you to have either your one-on-one session with me so we can personalize your government contract strategy, or if you want to sign up and join our GovCon Success Mastermind, do it today because you're worth it. And I just want to help you to take your business to the next level. So thank you, thank you, thank you for the opportunity to spend some time with you tonight. I will be back next Monday. Please let me know if this was helpful to you, if I can be of assistance to you. And I'll also be dropping the links again into the chat so that way you can access them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Truly appreciate all of your time tonight. Have a good night.